Hi there. It's time for another video that I've been putting off, and that's the dreaded gear video. I'm going to start off with my big three, which for me is actually more like a big five, but I'll tell you more about that as we go. I'm going to start with my pack, which is a Z-Pax Arc Haul 60. It's an older model. I think I got this in 2014, but it's been a good pack, and I'm going to go ahead and use it. I had it custom made when I bought it. They added 2 hip belt pockets for me, which are nice and roomy and will carry things like snacks or toilet paper, chapstick, whatever I need there. And I also had the double straps put on the top so that I can cross those over if I want to carry anything on top of my pack. If I have a bigger food load than normal, I can cross these on the top of the pack and go ahead and tuck something up under there. It also has loops on the bottom, and I usually keep my camp shoes here, but they can be used if you wanted to put a wet tent here or a rolled up sleeping pad or something like that. Okay, and I did go ahead and get weights on everything. I know normally people like to know the weights of things. So my Z-Pax Arc Haul, with the way it's set up, custom for me, is 29.6 ounces or 840 grams. That's 1 pound, 13.6 ounces. Next is my shelter. I am using currently a Dutchware Chameleon. I got this last May in Damascus. I was originally using a Hennessy hammock, used it for years and years. Loved it, but it does have a couple of drawbacks in that it was a bottom entry hammock. So once you went in for the night, it was not easy to get anything outside of your hammock. Also, the attachment system is cords, and you attach it to tree huggers with knots. And I found that in the rain or very cold conditions that was a little bit more difficult than it needed to be. So I decided I was going to go a different route and go with a zippered hammock and one with a different suspension. So I did get the Dutchware Chameleon. I love it. I've used it all last summer and really enjoy it. And it weighs in for the hammock body with, I've added actually 3 pockets. I have a gear loft from Dutch. I have a large gear pocket from Hennessy, and then I have a small gear pocket from Dutch. And all together with those 3 pockets that help in organization, it weighs in at 22.84 ounces or 1 pound, 6.84 ounces or 647.5 grams. That does not include the weight of the straps. The straps are separate. These are just the regular straps with the beetle buckles. Very easy to use, so I'm real satisfied with those. They are a little bit long. They sell them in a 15 feet length when you get them, and that seems to be more than I need. I may end up trimming those later, but everybody who has hammocks right now has told me don't cut them, wait and see if you need to later. So that's what I'm going to do. The straps weigh in at 7.4 ounces or 210 grams. Okay, and then I ordered a hammock gear, Dyneema tarp. I've used it a couple of times in torrential downpours, and it's done really well. I did order a mesh snakeskin to go over it, and I have the ridge line attached to it. Ordered a ridge line, and also there's a little carabiner attached to it that I use to hook around the first tree. And then I don't mind doing just a simple knot for the last tree on that. The hammock tarp is not going to bear any weight, unlike the hammock, so it's not a problem to do that knot. And this weighs in at 12.84 ounces altogether with all of this. And that is 364 grams. I do have a spreader bar for the hammock. I will probably go ahead and take that. With the spreader bar and the little bag that it comes in, that is another 2.12 ounces, but for the extra room, especially if it's a rainy day or something and I'm going to be stuck in the hammock a little bit, I think it's probably worthwhile to give you the extra space over top of your head. And that's 2.12 ounces or 60.1 grams. And then my stakes, I have 6 shepherd hook stakes, and 4 of those are the extra stout ones. And then those would be for the tarp. And then 2 of them are just lightweight ones, which will attach to the elastics that prevent the hammock from swaying as much. And all together with the little stuff sack here, those only weigh in at 2.12 ounces and 60.1 grams. Okay, the next thing is an Evazote pad. I use this as a sit pad actually during the day when I take a break or at camp at night, but it's also multi-purpose because I can fold it out and lay it under me in the hammock if it gets colder at night than the 20 degrees that my system is set up for. So this will safely take me down to a little bit lower temperature. And it's very lightweight. It is only 4.015 ounces or 113.8 grams. These are actually really just good to have almost as an emergency item. I have had a friend who, they kind of saved her one night when she was going into mild hypothermia. I was warm and didn't need it, so I offered it to her, and it really helped warm her right up. Next is my insulation. That starts with an underquilt. I did get this new this year. This is a Jacks Are Better Mount Washington ultralight quilt, underquilt. It's 1,000 fill power, goose down, good to 20 degrees. And it weighs in at 15.42 ounces or 437 grams. I had an underquilt on my other Hennessy, but because it had the bottom entry with Velcro, the underquilt also had Velcro and did not fit the new hammock quite as well. So that's the main reason I ordered that, although I did save almost 5 ounces by going with the ultralight version. With that, you do need suspension straps, 2 of those, and those weigh in at 1.075 ounces or 30.5 grams. And I'll be starting out with my Western Mountaineering bag, Western Mountaineering Ultralight. I have had this bag since probably 2007, I believe, maybe 2008. It's been a great bag. It truly is comfort rated at 20 degrees. I debated on getting a quilt because I could save a few ounces, but it would have been a cost of $500 or $600 to get a quilt probably. And this has been a great bag. It does have a hood, but if I were using a quilt, I would probably order an insulated hood or balaclava, I think they're pronounced, to wear at night anyway. So I think any weight savings would be a wash there. And I do typically just unzip this and use it as a quilt in my hammock, but I can put the hood up around my head, pull it over, and it's really nice and cozy even on the colder nights. Now, in the summer, I will switch out. Oh, let me give you the weight on that one. That one is 1 pound, 15.8 ounces, or 816 grams. I'm sorry. 1 pound, 12.8 ounces, or 816 grams. In the summer, probably around Damascus or so, I will switch to my lighter Nunatak quilt. I had this custom ordered way back, and it is one of their old Ghost models, but I had it made just a little bit wider, and I had 2 ounces less down put in it so I could use it as a summer quilt, because I hate sleeping too hot in the summertime, and a 20-degree bag will just roast me if it's like 50 or 60 at night. So I did have the summer quilt made. I love it, and it saves me about 1 pound over my Western Mountaineering bag, and it weighs in at 12.7 ounces, or 360 grams. So altogether, the combo of my big 3, which is really 5, is 126.12 ounces, which is 7 pounds, 14.2 ounces, or 3.52 kilograms. Hi, Nacho. Nacho came to say hi, and haven't you been filming long enough? So I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. I will be doing more videos on the rest of my gear, but I didn't want to make any of them too lengthy, so I'm going to call this one quits for tonight. And pay attention to Nacho.